Hello everybody, John12 back here again with another video, and it's Tuesday night, and as always, I'm back with another Flash review. Today I give you my review of The Flash episode 21 titled Grodd Lives. Now, of course, if you've not seen tonight's episode, please check it out because this review may contain spoilers, so please check out the episode beforehand, come back so we can talk shit about what happened in tonight's episode. Nonetheless, tonight's episode is pretty self-explanatory, and it's an episode that I've actually been waiting for ever since The Flash started. Ever since we got that little Easter egg of Gorilla Grodd existing in this universe, I've been waiting and hoping when they were about to use him. And we've gotten some obvious hints. Here and there, we got some hints that, like, maybe they'll use Gorilla Grodd at some point in the season, and now we officially have our first ever reveal of Gorilla Grodd, and it was mainly half and half. Visually, I think I give the Flash, everyone over at the CW, like, and you know, the creators of the Flash and what have you, I give them kudos and a humongous shout out for obviously trying as hard to accomplish a Gorilla Grodd. Obviously, they don't have the budget, you know, I guess, to like pull off some Dawn of the Planet of the Apes type shit, which is expected, but I do appreciate how far they were to get to accomplish a fully CGI'd gorilla. And I do really like the approach that they went with Gorilla Grodd in and of itself. Although I do like his comic book version. I like the comic book version of Gorilla Grodd more, but overall I just love that we finally got the character in the series in and of itself, because as everyone may or may not know, I'm a huge fan of apes and monkeys and primates and all that stuff, and I just love Gorilla Grodd as a villain. He's one of my, you know, favorite villains in the DCU. I mean, like, I think I actually made a video on that in my in one of my top 5. So I want to say it was my top 5 DC villains, if you will. And in that list, Gorilla Grodd ranked, I want to say number 2 on my list, or number 3. It was either number 3 or 2. I can't really recall, but it was definitely right up there. And he's also very much my second favorite Flash villain next to Reverse Flash, because he's a badass, he's super strong. There's no wrong when it comes to apes. And of course, at the end of the day, he has psychic abilities, and he's one of the more intelligent beings in all the DCU, and of course he has this humongous god complex and what have you, and all that other awesome nonsense that goes with Gorilla Grodd. But nonetheless, after the havoc that went down in last week's episode, when shit went down, Wells is Earbar Thawne / the Man in Yellow / Reverse Flash, and of course, now that, you know, he's out of the team, Team Flash is basically, you know, trying to repair everything that went down between the departure of Reverse Flash, aka Harrison Wells, and of course Team Flash. But of course we get some interesting, I guess you would say, additions to Team Flash, which is, of course, Iris West, where, as hinted in last week's episode, Iris West actually discovers that Barry is the Flash, and luckily enough, they didn't, like, beat around the bush. They actually went right in your face with it and came out right out of it. I liked it a lot. I really wasn't expecting for them to go that route. I mean, like, granted, Barry and Iris and the whole Flash thing really is a thing of itself. It's obviously supposed to build upon something to become something bigger, which of course at the end of the day, Iris and Barry are supposed to get married. You know, they're supposed to be husband and wife in the future. So it's inevitable, or at least it could be, because you never know. Whatever the Reverse Flash has done and has changed obviously has ripple effects within the universe. So you never know, things could or may not change. I really don't know. We have to really fucking wait to see what happens with the future of the series in and of itself. But at the end of the day, I did appreciate that they just went right out with it and was like, Iris, she knows everything. She comes right out and says it. Hell, she even walks right in as Barry's in his stupid, you know, Flash suit. I mean, like, it's very obvious that, you know, there are no boundaries anymore, and there aren't really any more secrets anymore, which I find actually kind of unfortunate. And I actually felt that was a very stupid way to go. And I actually made a point in that in one of my prior Flash reviews. I don't even know which one it was. It was either episode 19 or episode 18's it was either episode 20 to 19 reviews, where I stated that Iris West and her ability to go into Star Labs and discover the Flash so easily is very obvious, and I don't know why they don't just approach that. And they did it eventually in this episode, where it's just right out of the gate like, hey, she's in Star Labs, how does she get in so easily? Doesn't anybody lock doors? And especially when you have a gigantic facility filled with metahumans, technology that can be used to take down the world, hence the, the fucking rogues, and of course you have Barry as the Flash. I just find it kind of funny and ironic that, with a facility like that, there aren't any fucking locks on the doors that it's kind of like Batman 89 all over again. It's like, why is Vicky Vale in the Batcave? Well, blame that one asshole who fucking did it. Or blame Tim Burton, I always do. Nonetheless, that being said, Iris West going right in was expected. It was inevitable. I just felt that they could have done a smarter way of doing things. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you personally think about it in the comment section below. Nonetheless, of course, we have the discovery of our newest villain, which is actually being a basic surrogate for our main villain, which is Gorilla Grodd, and we find out that General Eiling is obviously being controlled by the psychic powers and abilities by Gorilla Grodd, and then we get a good backstory as to what happened to Gorilla Grodd, how he was used for experimentations by the General, and how, I guess Gorilla Grodd hates the General, which I found really weird. I honestly did not understand why Gorilla Grodd needed to do what he did to the General. Granted, maybe he was doing it to just destroy his reputation, or maybe get him arrested or whatever. I really have no idea. But the fact that, Grodd had the ability to use the General to his advantage, I felt they could have done something smarter than just be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna give him, an a semi-automatic weapon, fucking give him a mask, and just let him just steal gold for reasons unknown. I don't know. I just felt that was kind of stupid. But nonetheless, the good segue to that is, of course, finding out that Grodd's out there, and also finding out that he does have psychic powers that are not fully fleshed out yet, which is interesting. And of course, we have to go down to the sewers where possible alligators live. Hence the reference that Cisco puts out, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if that was meant to be a Batman reference, but it's an urban legend in of itself, so I guess it can go both ways. But I guess as the hardcore Batman fan that I am, I want to go that way anyways. Nonetheless, of course, back in the Flash. Oh God, I don't even know what to call it. Should we call it a Flash Cave? It's Star Labs, but I want to call it the Flash Cave. I don't know why. I just really want to. But nonetheless, of course, we have various subplots with the whole Iris and Barry thing, the Gorilla Grodd controlling Eiling thing, Barry versus Grodd kind of thing, and then we have the Harrison Wells and Eddie Thawne kind of thing, Eddie Thawne thing. I don't understand that. I really. Okay, based off the teasers, and based off how this episode goes, the Reverse Flash plans on doing a full-on assault attack against Barry. Hence the fact, rather, that there will be another crossover with Oliver and, frickin', Ronnie, which I think is kind of unfortunate. As much as I do appreciate CW's, consistent ability to cross over their TV shows, I don't know, I'm kind of getting sick of, the crossovers. It's kind of getting annoying. It's almost like a gimmick at this point. I want to see Barry versus Reverse Flash. I don't want to see Barry / Oliver / Ronnie versus the Reverse Flash. It kind of feels lame, and it's like, dude, this is for your mom, this is for your father, this is for your life that was lost because of this one person. Take them on yourself. Why do you have to have your friends? I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out what happens next week. It's obviously, leading up to an eventual battle, and maybe he'll use other villains to his advantage. Who the heck knows? We'll just have to wait and find out. But I just... The Reverse Flash and the Eddie Thawne capturing thing still does not make any sense to me. I don't know where he's going with it. Is he going to kill Eddie? Is he going to use Eddie to his advantage? What's the purpose of having Eddie? I have no clue. I mean, even through the conversations they have together, freaking the Reverse Flash actually states to Eddie that his life is pretty much pointless. He has no real, reason to live. Hell, even in the future, you don't even marry Iris. Barry does, so. It is what it is. I really don't know where they're going with it, with that kind of subplot, but I hope they have a very interesting payoff in the end, because the series is ending to less than a handful of episodes left, so I really, really need to see some payoff go down with this whole scenario, but I don't know. Let me know what you personally think about this, your personal speculation. Nonetheless, back to the Gorilla Grodd thing. Gorilla Grodd versus Barry is, I want to say, the greatest thing that I've seen so far from The Flash. I mean, the fights with The Flash are cool, but I never felt that were epic enough until now. Like, this Gorilla is minus the Reverse Flash versus Flash stuff. That stuff is awesome. But then we have the Gorilla Grodd thing. Gorilla Grodd kills it in this episode. I mean, like, granted, I did mention that the CGI wasn't on par with, stuff that you would see in movies, which is explainable, but I do give them kudos for trying. But it was great to see the action sequences to go down, especially for, two characters that are completely, the opposite of each other. You have Gorilla Grodd, who's an ape, who has psychic abilities. Then you have Barry, who's a speedster and what have you. And then he tries to do the same thing that he did with Greater, back in a few episodes ago, where he's going to use the supersonic punch, which is pretty awesome. Of course, does not work to his advantage. I'm just saying, the battle is so tight, it's so boss in this episode. It made the episode, in my personal opinion. The fact that Gorilla Grodd was just kicking Barry's ass, it was so epic. But of course, at the end of the day, Barry does get the upper hand and does defeat Gorilla Grodd. But, thankfully for all of us Gorilla Grodd fans, Gorilla Grodd does not die, nor does he get captured by Barry and is sent to that little, metahuman prison, if you will. It's obviously shown at the end of the episode that Gorilla Grodd's still alive, he's still out in Central City, more than likely growing to be stronger, more intelligent, and growing in his psychic power abilities, his telekinetic abilities, his telepathic abilities are just going to get higher. And of course, not to mention his intelligence and what have you. I'm just saying, this is not the end of Grodd. And I can also guarantee, or at least I hope, this is what the Flash writers do, is hopefully make him more like his comic book counterpart. Because, granted, I like to consider this is like Grodd Mark 1, where he's like, he has a grasp on his abilities, he's obviously stronger than the Flash, he's obviously been able to, survive as long as he has without, his mind exploding or what have you, due to his psychic powers. But he still isn't as intelligent enough to, take over the world, if you will, kind of Lex Luthor style, and he's not on par with controlling multiple people and doing very drastic things with his telekinesis and his psychic powers. I just really hope that in the future, when they actually inevitably use Grodd again, that they enhance his powers, enhance his strength, and enhance his intelligence, because it's only gonna grow. He's gonna get stronger. He's gonna get smarter, and he's obviously gonna grow his psychic powers, which is what I'm really hoping for. But nonetheless, this episode was epic. It was awesome. The fighting was this is the episode I've been waiting for ever since the pilot. And, kudos to CW, because at the end of the day, the Flash creators and writers and directors or what have you never had intentions of doing anything with Grodd. The whole Grodd Easter egg was just there for the fans, just so, we would, watch the Flash, rather. But because of how successful the Flash has gone, they've been able to take more risks, and it's finally paid off with our first review of Grodd, which is, once again, one of my favorite DC villains. Nonetheless, if I had to rate this episode, I'd give it a good 8.5 out of 10. It was good. I loved the horror aspects of it. I loved the darkness. I loved Grodd. But there were things I wasn't really big on. The whole Iris Barry thing was kind of boring to a certain extent. The whole Eddie and Wells thing still does not make any sense to me. I didn't understand why Grodd was using the General to steal gold for circumstances that don't really make that much sense. So I don't know, there were things in this episode that I wasn't big on, but overall, because of the whole Grodd aspect, it definitely got me interested and got me involved with what was going on screen, regardless of how bad certain other aspects of the episode were. Specifically, the fact that Iris does have feelings for Barry, but she doesn't want to, go with, I don't know, just be with Barry already, please. It's killing me inside. I can't sleep at night. I don't know. Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below about what happened in tonight's episode. What did you think about our big reveal of Grodd? And also let me know what your personal speculations for the end of this season. This season has been awesome. The season finale is coming up very soon. And of course, it basically over the teaser trailers that we've been getting, I'm guessing it's going to end with a humongous battle royale, which I still feel 50-50 about it. I'm just saying I'd rather just let it be a Barry versus Eobard Thawne kind of thing. Don't let it be, Barry with Oliver, with, fucking Ronnie, with God knows who the fuck else, versus Reverse Flash with the metas. It's just boring. I'm pretty sure it's going to be epic, but I'm kind of worried if it doesn't serve its purpose. That's kind of my, where I'm coming from. But nonetheless, this episode was awesome. Let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. If you've not done so already, check out my Avengers Age of Ultron movie review. If you've seen it and you liked it, check out my review, of course. Also, check out my Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice teaser trailer review, of course, as always. And come back tomorrow night, where I'll have a Arrow Season 3 episode review. Let's see how Katana kicks ass, which is something I've really wanted to make a topic on, because now that Katana is a part of Suicide Squad, does this change things for Arrow's Katana? We'll have to see what happens in tomorrow night's episode. But nonetheless, let me know what you personally think about all things that happened with Flash tonight. What are your personal speculations for Gorilla Grodd, and your personal speculations for the season finale of The Flash? And just let me know what you personally thought overall about what happened tonight. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.